from this graph today. Uh, in this, we are going to see how the production indicated prices and the retail prices compare together. So we are just going to open this in the report. So let's just read here first. It says, by looking at the following graph, it can be seen that production of sugarcane has increased from roughly 55 million metric tons to 73 million metric tons between 2011 and 2017. In 2015, the production of sugarcane in the country was roughly 63 million metric tons, that increased to about 65 million metric tons in fiscal year 2016, eventually reaching a figure of 73 million metric tons in fiscal year 2017, despite the price flow being more or less the same during this period. While the dynamics of the sector changed in that the supply of sugar exceeded its demand domestically, this failed to reflect in the price flow, thereby encouraging the pattern of the growth we see in the graph down below. Now, if you see the graph here, it says, if we just try to understand at it first, here this red line shows the sugarcane line from year fiscal year 2011, fiscal year 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. From year 2011 to year 2017, this is the line of sugarcane, which reaches a peak in fiscal between fiscal year 13 and 14 year, and then it went to decline in fiscal year from 14. It went towards decline to 15, and then it takes a slight jump from 15 to 16 here. It went up, and then from 16 to 17 it went up here. Now this line up here is of wheat, which is the purple line. It reflects the wheat line here. If you see, these are the quantities of all these commodities in million metric tons. It is 50,000 million metric tons. It is 60,000 million metric tons, 70,000 million metric tons, and 80,000 million metric tons. And this is the Source Economic Survey 2016 and 17, that this report of Sugar Opinion, published on 25th April 2018, states. So this is the production of important crops over here. If you see, sugarcane increased from fiscal year 2011, went here, got a dip, rised up a bit, and then went to meet this production quantity of wheat. The text that we read over here above in the report, it says, by looking at the following graph, the production of sugarcane increased from roughly 55 to 73 million between 2011 and 17. So they're saying between 2011 and 17, the fiscal year 2011 and 17, the production of quantity of wheat began from 50,000. This was 50,000 or 55,000 or 53,000, and then ultimately its production increased from 53,000 to uh, 73,000. So that is around a difference of 10,000 million metric tons of sugar. Now, in this 10,000 million metric tons of sugar, says that we have, do we have increased, does our country have increased the demand? Have, if the population increase, the demand increases, or if the quantity of industries increases and they demand more sugar so that they make more products and then they can export it, then the demand increases and the production increases. But here, this phenomena of production of sugar, we are going to study in the light of the indicative prices and the overall its outlook with other important crops. Outlook of sugarcane production with reference to the indicative prices in the other crops. So let's say if we look at the indicative prices that I've already prompted earlier, uh, through the AI. Almost the data I've verified for the 14, 15, 16 is correct for indicative prices, and these are the estimates by the AI that I've not verified, but they are close to what could have been the real numbers in the reports. So let's see. This is a fiscal year, and the production of wheat of sugarcane was around 53 or 55 million metric tons. The indicative price here was in Punjab 150, 154, and 150 in year 2011-12. Then in 12-13, the prices increased almost 20 rupees, 22 rupees around indicative prices. So the production increased. Now this is fiscal year 11-12. The prices were these. Now the fiscal year 12-13, with 24 rupees increase in the indicative prices, it shows the production spiked and went from 55,000 to almost 2,000 to almost 63,000 somewhere. This is in the increase of production of sugarcane. Then the indicative prices remain same for 2013 and 14, but despite the production has already increased because the that increase in year 2012 and 13 reflected in 13 and 14 with maximum production of sugarcane, and that went around somewhere around 68,000 perhaps. And then when the sugarcane prices, indicative prices went to 180, that is 10 rupees or 12 rupees in year 2014 and 15. So the production dipped, the prices increased, but the production had a dip. So possibly this could be the fall because they produced more during the year. So this during 2014, between 13 and 2015, 14 is the most common year. So is the year between where the price had peaked. So it's the year 2014 where the impact of increased indicative prices showed greater production results of sugarcane, and then it eventually went down in 2015 because the prices now has become stable. So 180 price and 180, 72 and 180, the price almost remained same till year 2017 from fiscal year 2014-15 to 17, but it had a dip and then went again increased. If we see indicative prices had, we say when you are going to increase the indicative prices, they are going to encourage farmers to do more production. So that phenomena was here, right, till 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 we saw. But then the prices were stable in 14, 15, 16. 14, 15, 16. But despite prices, indicative prices being stable at certain points, the production of sugarcane had a dip. Prices were almost on the same line, on the same threshold of indicative prices of sugarcane, and then it went to increase from fiscal year 2015 to fiscal year 2017 around to 73,000 million metric tons. Now it shows despite the prices of indicative prices of sugarcane were same for farmers for 3 years in almost all the provinces, apart from Sindh, which had a dip in 2015-16, but and the production increased sugarcane to such an extent uh, that it went to meet the production quantity of crops here, wheat crops here. So theory does indicate that when we try to use the tools such as negative prices, they do have their own impact, and they do show how it can be used to encourage the production of sugarcane and discourage it. But we in here when we saw the data, it matched for certain years, but in the remaining years it did not match because even when the prices, indicative prices were same, the production had a decrease and an increase and the gradual increase, and it went to such an extent that it went to meet the sugar wheat production. It means at this stage, you in fiscal year 2017 you were producing the same quantity of wheat and the same quantity of sugar. Now wheat is the most staple food that is used almost daily, like twice or three times in most of the parts of the country. But the sugarcane, the sugar that is made from sugarcane, is not such. It's an important. It's used in tea for to sweeten it, but they it seems that it almost went to meet the wheat. Now here it can indicate that the sugarcane is also occupying much of the area where wheat is planted. Now, we may not know the underlying reasons over here. There could be different reasons with regards to the field realities. So, if we compare the prices here in 2011 and 12, the price of sugarcane uh, after making the sugar, it was 60 when the indicative prices were around 150. In 2012-13, where when the wheat sugarcane production was at this much, say around 63,000 million metric tons, there was somehow excess and the prices decreased, and there were indicative prices increased here. The production of sugarcane increased here 13 and 14, and the prices decreased to 53 from 60 to 53. So when there is an economics principle in play here. In, there is excess of sugar in quantity, the prices are going to decrease. But here, this price decrease phenomena also goes, it's unfathomable. Uh, you cannot just comprehend it here, because here the indicative prices increase to 180, 172, and 180. And the prices, that means there is more sugarcane productions means more sugar quantity means the prices are going to decrease. But here the prices jump from 56 to 62. So that mean we have a shortage in the market, or is there, or we sold the sugar to other, or we exported it, or we sold it to other manufacturing industries that were creating more sugar products out of it. So since we don't know that, we may not explain the difference of this phenomena here. Of you can say the dilemma as well. The dilemma of when the indicative price. Let's just try to understand this whole process here. When the indicative prices increases, overall with time, let's start from with the time. Overall with time, when the time moves on, every year changes. Fiscal year 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We prices increases, inflation increases, so that means your cost of materials that you're going to purchase, they are going to increase, right? So now the materials that you're going to purchase to cultivate the sugarcane, talking about farmers here. So when farmers are going to get their purchases to cultivate the sugarcane at slightly higher prices because of inflation. So their cost of cultivation increases. So to maintain that, possibly the indicative prices are increases. When indicative prices are increases for them to facilitate to them so that they can adjust to the inflation. So then what, when they sell it to the mills, the sugarcane produced to the mills tend to purchase it and at the indicative prices set by the government, and then mills will try to produce, and with those indicative prices it is also to encourage farmers to produce, to cultivate sugarcane more and not the other crops, just because they are beneficial, or they take more time or less time, whatever the uh, concerns of farmers are, the governments try to address. So now they're going to produce, because of high indicative prices, farmers are going to produce the more sugarcane, and also they are going to sell it. When they are going to sell it to the mills have to purchase the whole quantity of sugarcane, and then they have to make the sugar. Ultimately, when they are going to purchase all of the sugarcane produced from the farmers, because what are farmer going to do it, they have cultivated so they can sold all of their produce to the mills. When mills are going to purchase and make sugar out of it, it's going to become excess of sugar. When they go and try to sell it in the market at the retail prices are lower, because the sugar storage is in access, so they have to sell at lower prices so that they can sell all the sugar and try to create the new one. Now here the farmers are adjusted, inflation and the whole supply chain, and the retail prices are less. So the citizens of the Pakistan, the countries where with the phenomena is same, are happy. But then it costs to mill. So now to solve this problem, one of the solution could be mills can, do for invest in some of the research, try to find more products of the sugarcane. Once they find more products of the sugarcane, find demand for it, and then sell that excess amount of sugarcane with and produce another product of sugar out of sugarcane and then sell it. So this way the farmers will be happy. The all the people at the retail and they will be happy because the prices are low for the sugar. Ultimately the impact will turn over and come over there, and the mills will be happy because they are going to be producing this sugar other product from sugarcane and then selling it, and the quantity, and they will be able to purchase whole quantities of sugarcane ultimately. So I think this could be one of the solutions just at this stage. Perhaps with the new information, as I tend to say, the existing knowledge tends to modify and change and gets better. So perhaps at this stage, with my knowledge, reading and literature, all this could be the solution. Real prices that we have done. When production is in excess and more sugar is produced, more sugar means less market prices that we have discussed. Dilemma with prices overall increases. With time, prices overall increases, the cost of cultivation as well, but increasing indicative prices increases sugarcane production and makes sugar in excess, causing retail prices low to get low, but then it costs to mill apparently. Solution could be to let mills do research on other products creation from sugarcane, find the demand and sell it for the product. This way, even if farmers will be producing more sugarcane, mills would be making sufficient sugar, and then from excess other products. This will be kind of win-win for all, at least in short term. The temporary solution that I said. Viewing from sugarcane, outlet with other crops, it went to meet the production level of wheat. So if we when we see that we have also seen how this we've seen sugarcane with respect to other crops. This is the cotton here in blue, rice here in this green, and wheat here in purple that we have discussed. So this was all for today, and I think in next perhaps I would be doing a little bit about of this one more solution that I have thought of, how perhaps farmers or the mills can uh, the contention of profits and the losses can be mitigated between the different stakeholders and the parties, and then ultimately how my research went here, and then it's quite too numerical and technical. So then we'll be coming here and discussing. Thank you.